Discover, reflect, transform.
Activity 5, Assessing Learning Outcomes and Reporting Feedbacks. It focuses on educators skillfully manages assessment complexities in line with DepEd guidelines, emphasizing the assessment's vital role in measuring instructional success with specific table specification and scoring rubrics integrated during pandemic. Domain 5, Assessment and Reporting. Assessment in education is an important aspect of the teaching and learning process, measuring both curriculum effectiveness and learner performance through diverse tools and facilitating valuable feedback.
In this activity, we interviewed Mrs. Grace G. Macapagal, grade 6 teacher at Bautista Central School.
Teacher Grace clearly aligned the questions she asked with learning objectives. Besides, she ensured a balanced representation of content, maintained an appropriate difficulty level, and conducted fair evaluation of students' understanding. The art of questioning, on the other hand, she have posed thought-provoking and varied questions that stimulate critical thinking among the students.
This interview is focused po sa activity 5 po namin, assessing learning outcomes and reporting feedback. So, basically po, mag-revolve around po siya sa how you will compute po yung learner's grade. So, first question po, ma'am. How do you compute learner's grade?
In public, in DepEd, we are guided with a DepEd order. That is DepEd order number 8, series 2015, also entitled Policy Guidelines on Classroom Assessment for the K-12 Basic Curriculum. Yun ang ginagamit namin. So, dapat alam namin yon. What is it all about? There are components to be considered in solving in the grading system of a certain subject. Like in language, that is Filipino and English, including AP and ESP, components are written work, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment. So, it depends upon the subject. For this one, for communication skills, yung written work nila 30%, and then yung performance task is 50%, and for the quarterly exam is 20%. Actually, in all subjects, yung quarterly exam nila, 20% yun. Pero yung sa other subjects like in science and math, yung written works nila, 40%. And then for MAPE and TLE, yung written work nila 20%. Then performance task, yun yung may pagkakaiba. For Science and Math, they have 40%. And then for the MAPE and TLE, 60%.
Ma'am, for the second question, how do you report the grades or performance to your students to their parents?
We conduct yung quarterly PTA conference, which is done or held after 2 weeks after the end of the first of every quarter. Limbawa, their first quarter ended in anong month na yun? I think October 27 yata yung last day of yung exam nila, periodic exam nila. 2 weeks after the conduct of the periodic test, we are required. Actually, it is in their school calendar that card day will be held. That day, meron kaming conference with the parents. We present with them yung card ng mga anak nila. No, to be signed by the parents also. Parang pwede kayong mag one-to-one lalo na pag may problem yung bata.
What are the challenges encountered during the computation and reporting of grades to parents?
Marami anak. Kasi halimbawa, at the end of the quarter, yung some of them do not pass on time their performance tasks, their projects. So what do? So yung kumintan, we give considerations to them. For example, halimbawa, if yung bata nagkasakit, syempre you have to give considerations. Pero sa amin, we require them to submit, halimbawa yung medical certificate if the child gets sick. Di kaya yung letter coming from the parents. That's the time we give them consideration. Tapos, ang isa pang na-encounter namin, kasi hindi naman lahat ng bata sa public may kaya. May yung mga below poverty line o nasa kung sila, they cannot afford to do yung mga projects na medyo needs, may mga ganon, yung kailangan ng budget, kailangan bumili ng hindi nila nagagawa, hindi sila nakakapag-comply sa pag-submit ng mga ganon. So, ano mangyayari? So, if they cannot pass that kind of project, kailangan namin bigla ng another option ng another pwede lang gawin na i-submit. Nadidelay ko minsan yung computation kasi we have to wait for them. And then, kuminsan, yung mga parents, they complain, kuminsan may mga ganon. They ask us, kung halimbawa during the card day, why is it, ma'am, my child is like this and like that? Ba't ganitong ganyan? She always pass her, ganito naman. Hindi niya alam, mayroong iba't ibang mga components nga, di ba? So, yung written works yun yung weekly test nila or summative test, which is supposedly to be given every end of the week. Every Friday dapat. Pero syempre, dapat as a teacher, you must be flexible. Kasi kumisan may holiday. So, 4 lang na araw. Di kaya may bagyo, ganon. So, namumove ng konti. So, instead giving their summative test on Friday, we give it on Monday or Tuesday. So, kumisan may mga distractions sa mga klase.
Teachers need to record the results of formative and summative assessments because, according to Mrs. Macapagal, it helps them to know the progress of the learners. And again, such record serves as a feedback to the schools and the teachers. They used to report to parents, guide their instructions, and give evidence of their work with learners.
Why do we need to evaluate student learning?
Siyempre, napaka-importante yan. Part of lesson plan is the evaluation, right? Yan yung pang-feedback. Bakit ba we need to evaluate or assess? Yung assess yan? Assess or evaluate?
The students' learning.
Siyempre, napaka-importante yan. Kasi yun yung ang magiging basehan mo if you really succeed in your lesson, di ba? If you really achieve your lesson for that day. So, kung halimbawa, di ba 75% of all your learners, all of them, 100% of your pupils should at least get 75% nung lesson mo. Achieve mo yun. So, dapat, if they get below that, you have to repeat. That will be your basis to have another lesson or same lesson. You have to ituturo mo ulit siya, di ba? Reteach mo siya. Di ba? Ganun yung isang basihan. Yun anak.
Ma'am, for the next question po, in administering or implementing your assessment, do you prepare a table of specifications?
Yes, anak. We do.
Bakit po, ma'am? Para saan po ang TOS?
Para sa kasi yun lang, it serves as your guide din kasi yung halimbawa kasi sa public nga we have the MELT na tinatawag, minimum essential learning competencies. Thank you na ako. Before wala pa yan, basta yung lang, hindi pa siya minimum, hindi siya essential. Marami yun. And then, minerge nila yung iba. Kasi nung pandemic, yun ang guide namin. Kaya pag weekly, we have that need to be attained or achieved. Kaya, every time we do our summative test, at the end of the week, yun ang magiging basehan namin yung sa TOS. Kasi nakalagay doon kung ilang days mo itinuro, yung isang di ba? Yun maging basehan mo para kung ilang items ay bibigay mo sa bawat competency.
So, ma'am, next is, why is it important to align the activities with the intended learning outcomes and objectives?
Siyempre naman ako, parang naman kailang alam namang hindi naka-align, di ba? O, dapat lang na naka-align. Kasi yun talaga, yun eh. Para ko ba explain yun? Dapat talaga i-align mo, di ba?
Gaano siya, gaano po siya ka-importante kung align the learning outcomes dun sa activities na inibigay niya.
Agad akong, ha?
Ma'am, kung gaano po importante yung pag-a-align po ng intended learning outcomes sa activities po na binibigay niyo sa students. Bakit po?
Natural na ako. Naka-align dapat talaga. Kasi alam nyo, di ba yung sa MELT, yung K-12 is spiral siya.
Yes po.
Spiral siya, di ba? So, yung activities na ibabagay mo, suited dapat dun sa grade level ng mga bata. O, so, mag-search ang guide mo yung para alam magbibigay ka na activity na cannot be attainable. Yung hindi kaya ng mga, hindi siya appropriate sa grade level ng mga pupils mo, di ba? Uy, mawawala ka talaga pag hindi naka-align, di ba? Kaya nga yung sa part ng DLL, mula motivation, review motivation sa discussion sa importante talaga yun.
What is the importance of scoring rubric in evaluating students' performance?
Yun ang talagang ginagamit namin, the rubrics ng mga bata. Paano mo siya i-grade kung walang rubrics?
Yes.
Baka there's a possibility now, without basis, magiging subjective ka na teacher, di ba? You must be guided with the rubrics talaga. Pero iba-iba rin yung rubrics na ginagaya namin. Depende sa activity na binibigay, depende sa subject nila.
To evaluate students' performance and provide effective feedback, we can utilize diverse assessment methods like exams, projects, presentations, group work, and practical assessments. Communicate learning objectives, develop rubrics, incorporate formative and peer assessments, and encourage student reflection.
Assessing whether the evaluation methods accurately measured and stated learning objective is important. Think about how well the objectives are defined, how suitable the assessment criteria are, and how well the activities represent the knowledge and abilities that are needed. Also, providing feedbacks to our students will help them improve. As BEE-EGE said, learners need endless feedback more than they need endless teaching.